Buongiorno everyone and welcome back to Lineup Predictions. Welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV, coverage of the lineup prediction for tomorrow night's game against Fulham at home, St James's, 8 o'clock kickoff, live on Sky. And I'm still mega deflated after that Leeds game. I still can't believe that we conceded 5 goals, but we need to try and put that in the back of our mind. Forget about that one for now. Fulham is the focus, another Premier League game. An opportunity to pick up some points, whether that's 1 or 3. It is what it is. We need 3 points though. Can't be settling for a draw after that disappointing loss. We've also got Brentford coming up on Tuesday night, Carabao Cup quarter-final settings. An opportunity to get to Wembley in the semi-final. So what do we do here? Do we rotate? Do we go for it? For me, go for it after the Leeds game. We can't not. I was relatively optimistic about getting a point at Leeds. I know Leeds are a good team. I just think we massively underestimated them. Bruce v Bielsa, there's only one winner there. Bielsa's the man. Credit to his football, but like I say, fuck Leeds. Let's forget about that one. Scotty P's Fulham are the visitors. They're sitting 18th in the Premier League with only 9 points, still in the bottom 3. Only 2 wins this season and 3 draws. But they've only got 1 loss in the last 4, or the 4 games unbeaten. I can't remember which way around it is, but the last 2 games have been draws. They got a 0-0 draw the other night to Brighton. And at the weekend, a great 1-1 result to the champions Liverpool. So I think Fulham are finally starting to find some form now. I think they started the season really poorly. I watched the first couple of games and just didn't look any different to the team that got relegated 2 seasons ago. That's shit, to be honest. But I think Scotty P's finally stamping his mark on Fulham now. I think he's got them playing some really good football. They're not a great team. They've got a few decent individuals. Bobby Cordova-Reed's having a pretty good season, but he's doubtful for the game, which is good for us. Our old boy Alexander Mitrovic, he's just come back. He's had an ankle injury, so he's in the reckoning for the game. Probably play, probably score. They've got Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Ademola Lookman. Yeah, they're looking like a pretty good team. So how will Brucey see this one through? He says this morning that there's no new injury problems. Still got 4 or 5 out with illnesses, so it's pretty much going to be the exact same team that played the other night. Maybe a little bit more rotation. It's a tough one. Like I say, what do we do? Do we focus on this one? Do we have one eye on Tuesday? I think we should be aiming for 3 points here. Rotate a little bit on Tuesday. Brentford's a really good team, but they're a championship team. We should still have a little bit in the tank to rotate a little bit against them. I know we've got, it's the Christmas period now, we've got a lot of games, 2 games per week for the next 2-3 weeks. Big games coming up, we've got Liverpool and City after Christmas. We've obviously just come back from everyone being ill, the training ground being closed down. Some players haven't trained, those that haven't trained much. So yeah, I'm going to try and play the best team possible with an eye on Tuesday, and I'll talk you through it as I do. Before I get into my prediction though, I'd just like to thank everyone for smashing the like target that I set for the Leeds game in my lineup prediction. I set a small target of 100 likes. We usually get way past that, but the video is out for less than 24 hours, so I was trying to be a little bit more realistic, but I think from last time I checked we're on about 144. So I'm going to set the biggest like target I have so far. We've already hit it a couple of times though with smaller targets. 150 likes I want to see on this video before kickoff tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. It's doable. Just need your help. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Closing in on 10,000 subscribers. The video the other day did really well. We got quite a few more subscriptions, so please don't forget to hit that red button. Into my lineup there then, and Carl Darlow in goal, of course. Nothing he could have done about either of the goals the other day. I think it was another decent performance from what he did. Their last 3 goals, the defence totally fell asleep, so no blame on Carl Darlow there. At right back, I'll be sticking with Jacob Murphy. I think he got targeted the other night, and if Scotty P does his homework, I'm pretty sure nearly every other Premier League manager does more homework than Brucey. So if Scotty did some homework, watched the game the other night, he'll probably know that Murphy's a bit of a weak link there. He's a winger. He's not a fullback. He's much better in a 5 at the back formation, which I do not want to see. So that's a spoiler. I'm going for the 4-4-2 again. Yeah, Murphy at right back, because when he gets forward, he offers more than what any other fullback does, really. Maybe with the exception of Jamal Lewis. Defensively, he does okay. But yeah, Leeds just proper targeted him the other day. So yeah, if Cordova Reed's playing, Luckman, Loftus-Cheek, yeah, they could cause Murphy some damage. But with Manquillo still being out, Yedlin not in favour. The only other option is Emil Kraft. He hasn't really covered himself in many graces in his last couple of appearances. So yeah, I'd stick with Murphy for this game, see how he gets on. Maybe rotate that for the Brentford game with Kraft starting. Just see how he works out. But also, yeah, Murphy has played quite a few games lately, so he might be a bit tired. Fatigue is a big thing in the team at the minute, so we need to keep a very close eye on that. Don't want to wear anyone out, but the numbers are still shy with a few being out. Like I say, Manquillo, Lascelles is out, Shaw, Saint-Maximin. So centre-back, that's a big one with Lascelles and Shaw still being out. We'll pretty much need to play what we can. Isaac Hayden played there the other day, not on against Leeds, the one at the weekend. But I'll be sticking with Fernandes and Clark as the only out-and-out centre-backs that we've got without Isaac Hayden having to step in. Clark had a pretty good game against Leeds, scored the goal of course. Fernandes was the captain, Iron Man. I'm sure he'll be alright. He only had a day or two's training before the Leeds game and got the captain's armband. Big responsibilities. Could have done better, but yeah, he's Iron Man. He hasn't got a problem with fitness or anything, Fernandes, so I'm sure he's got another game in the tank. And at left back, Jamal Lewis. He's the only out-and-out left back we've got in the team without possibly playing Matt Ritchie there. But I'd maybe be saving Ritchie for the Brentford game. I think I've mentioned a few times Jamal Lewis. He's young, he's fit, he can run for days, so I'm sure he'll be fine, but we do just need to keep an eye on him. That is one change I'd maybe be looking to make for the Brentford game, dropping Lewis for Matt Ritchie. I'm going to go into centre mid now, and I'll be starting Isaac Hayden. We do need to be very careful with Isaac Hayden. I mentioned fatigue. He's one that wasn't expected to play against Leeds. Brucey said it himself. He's fatigued. He's just come back from the virus. He spent 10 days out in bed and got shoved into the weekend's game and played 90 minutes. He played 90 minutes again the other day. So, yeah, we need to be very careful with Isaac Hayden. I think he's another fit one. He's one of the fittest in the teams. Brucey said that himself. He mentioned how the virus, like how bad it works when our fittest player couldn't get out of bed for 10 days. So credit to Isaac Hayden. So yeah, I'd probably be starting him, maybe looking to rest him on Tuesday as well. But he's also versatile, Isaac Hayden, in the sense that he can slide into centre-back if we need coverage there. And his partner the other day, Sean Longstaff. I'm not going to get onto Sean Longstaff. If you want to hear the opinions on Sean Longstaff, watch the Leeds match preview where Big Renty went on a big rant. Weren't happy about that one. So, he's getting dropped. John Joe Shelvey, he played against West Brom, unused sub against Leeds. So he's had a rest, he's been benched, so he's had a week to recover. So Shelvey needs to go in there in place of Sean Longstaff. Sean Longstaff may even play in place of Hayden, depending on where his fitness levels are. But after that performance, I don't want to see Sean Longstaff playing. It's got to be Shelvey and Hayden for me. Jeff Hendricks, the only other potential centre-mid option. He had a decent game against Leeds the other day. Got his goal, of course, but playing from the right wing, not centre-mid. So yeah, he'd be another option from the bench from me. I'd be putting Sean and Jeff Hendrick on the bench. John Joe Shelvey and Isaac Hayden starting. And I'd be looking somewhere to try and get Matty Longstaff back into the team. I don't know what Brucey's plan is with him. Brentford may be a shout for Matty Longstaff to try and get back in. Maybe only from the bench, but we need more options now because I think Sean Longstaff's absolutely blown it. I think the fans are now starting to realise it. There's been a lot of criticism from him on social media. It's not just us. I thought maybe we were maybe being a little bit harsh, but I've gone through social media and everyone has the same opinion. So if we can get Matty Longstaff back into the team sooner or later, whether it's on the bench for this one, maybe even start him at Brentford, I don't know. But yeah, something's got to give here, so it's got to be Sean Longstaff and Jeff Hendrick. On the wing, on either side, really, these two are both versatile, the ones that I'm going to put in. I'll start on the right and put Miggy Almiron. Another sub, he was benched against Leeds. Came on with 15 minutes to spare, but by that point we had our pants pulled down right around our ankles. There was no way he was getting into the game at that point. Leeds were absolutely dominating. So yeah, Miggy's got to be fresh, really, and I think we really, really missed him. In a game like Fulham, this could be a game where he really steps up. I thought he was brilliant against West Brom. Yeah, and now he's had a rest, mostly a rest. He's got to come back into the team. And on the opposite flank, another one we need to be careful on, but Ryan Fraser. He came back into the team against Leeds after quite a while out, a good few weeks since before the lockdown of the training facilities. Oh, I love Ryan Fraser. He's class. He was just finally starting to get into some form for both club and country just before he picked up another injury that's kept him out for the last few weeks. He was a surprise one. I think Brucey kind of teased that he would only come into the Leeds game from the bench. But he started and he was brilliant, had a helping hand in both of the goals. Yeah, I thought he was class. If we can get... Like I said, Jeff Hendrick had a good game on the right mid, but he's not a winger. He's not the kind of player that you want to be seeing start week in, week out. So if we can have Almiron and Fraser on the wing, either side, with some Maximum when he's back fit as well, that's great options, a lot of pace, a lot of creativity. Obviously with some Maximum still being out. It's got to be them two, but Fraser is a big question mark on his fitness. We don't want to rush him in too much. 2 games in the space of, 4 days might be a bit too much to ask for him. So Fraser may be looking at starting from the bench with probably Matt Ritchie playing on either flank. Yeah, that's something that we've got to look out for as well. Up top, this is another bit of a question mark, another one which I see rotation for against Brentford, but partnering Callum Wilson up front, I'll be sticking for now with Joe Linton. I think Joe Linton's finally starting to get on side with some of the fans. I think they can see the work rate that he's putting in when he gets back, holding up, linking up with Wilson. I think they're forming a really good partnership. They just need more minutes on the pitch together to prove it. Dwight Gale, he's the only one that could come in, but I would start him against Brentford. I really would. Like, Championship's his level. I think you can have a really, really good game against Brentford if he started from the start. So I wouldn't be chucking him into this game and risking injury, fatigue, etc. I'd definitely bring him on. He's a great option to bring on 20, 30 minutes from the bench. Yeah, absolutely. I'd be really looking forward to seeing that. Joe Linton could potentially go on the wing for Fraser if Fraser's feeling the fatigue. I think he did that against Leeds, to be fair, didn't he? He went onto the left mid. Gale came on, but again, like Almiron, too late of an impact. Andy Carroll's also another option there. He didn't get on the other day, but I think with Gale in, I think Gale's everyone's favourite backup now. It's either going to be Gale or Joe Linton. It's obviously Wilson's cemented in the starting 11. Just who's his partner going to be? That's the question. Flip of a coin. Joe Linton, Dwight Gale, Andy Carroll on the bench. That's the way it's got to be for me. So this is my lineup for the Fulham game. I'm giving a few spoilers away. I've already looked forward into the Brentford game to see what I would do, and Gale is definitely a starter for that Brentford game. I'll show you the bench that I've got there. Some players to be rested. Mark Gillespie, he's played most of the Carabao Cup games, so I wouldn't really be surprised to see Mark Gillespie in the lineup on Tuesday, but as I say, Brentford are a really, really good Championship team. We need our best goalkeeper available, and at the minute that's definitely Carl Darlow, so that might be something to look out for. Emil Kraft right back, he's another one that may start on Tuesday, or he may start tomorrow night with Murphy being prepped for the Championship opposition. Matt Ritchie, of course, as I've mentioned, could start tomorrow night on the wing, but he's another one who I would probably be playing either on the wing or at left back on Tuesday night. Sean Longstaff dropped for obvious reasons, along with Jeff Hendrick, Dwight Gale and Andy Carroll. So let me know your thoughts, guys. Put your predicted lineup in the comments below, as well as a score prediction. I think we've got to win this one. I think we've got to bounce back well. We need to prove doubters wrong. Well, the doubters are right, to be fair, but we need, as I'm saying, we need to bounce back. We need to put the Leeds game in the back of our minds. Look at this, a dead cert relegation candidate, despite how well Scott Parker's doing. 3 points is an absolute must. So I'm going for a big 3-1 win, and I know that's mad optimistic, and I don't know where that's come from, but I was going to say 2-1 Newcastle, but I say we need to bounce back well. We need to shut people up. Brucey needs to pull his finger out of his bum hole. Stop putting it in his fucking kebabs. And yeah, 3-1. Big 3-1 win for me. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Come back tomorrow night and join us for the live watch along, as well as the match review, player ratings and fan cams. Thanks for watching, everyone. Enjoy yourself.